Hello everyone, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for August the 25th, 2010. Now our first position for tomorrow is going to be, or tonight depending when you're looking at this, will be in the gold futures contracts or in the cash market depending if you're trading it in the cash, the futures, or the CFDs. Now what we're looking at, we have a close of 1231.80. Our key levels of pivot support. Now the reason I'm saying pivot support, we have this crossover that's taken place. Now we have 1228.40, 1223.40, and 1213.90. So what we're going to be looking at for tomorrow is getting back into our long positions. We still have room to extend. If everybody can see this candlestick, hopefully here okay, it's come all the way down, touched the 18-day predicted moving average from vantage point, and then it's extended clearly higher to a close in the 1231 area. So that was a very good move today. Now our predicted medium and long-term differences are turning to the downside somewhat. I wouldn't say in reversal territory. However, the predicted stochastic and the predicted true strength indicator from vantage point are also a bit of a concern for me. So whenever I see this, what I do is I'm going to go into the major crossovers, have a look at the short term, the medium, and the long term crossover, and see what's actually happening in the different time frames. Now in the short term, we're basically running flat. The medium term on this, I believe, is still going to show that we're moving higher. It does, but it's under a little bit of pressure also. Now, the long-term crossover on gold contracts, again, I'm pretty sure going to continue to point higher, which they are. So everything looks pretty good here, this thing to continue to move higher. Now, what we want to do from here is identify the key level of support for tomorrow. Like, what is our range for tomorrow, and where is a potential entry point? We know where our main pivot support is, our major support level. So we can see we have 1221.70. Our short-term predicted differences, very similar to our short-term crossover. It's showing somewhat negative, but less than what it was yesterday. Our neural index, excuse me, we've had 2 days down. We now have turned positive in the neural index. Everything looks good there. So for tomorrow, we're going to be looking for a pullback towards the 1221. I would go about 1222.50, in about that area to get into the buy positions. And then we're going to be looking for an extension on that slight dip back. They're going to look for an extension towards the 1234.80 area. That I think will be a fairly decent trade tomorrow, respecting the fact that we have extremely volatile markets right now. Now, with that said, we've had another big break over the last 24 hours, which brings me to our foreign exchange trade. The US-Japan, after this very long, extended, slow, painfully slow move down, it's finally taken out the 84.75 area. Of course, Vantage Point has never put out a buy signal on this, even though I did. So, you know, you've really got to give the software some credit here. These retracements, we can see it's hit the 18-day predicted moving average at least 6 or 7 times, only to be met with selling and pushing it lower. So the obvious entry for tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the 84, probably about 84.55, 85.65, in that area. 84.75 now represents a huge area if this currency pair can continue this downtrend. And to be perfectly honest, we're not really oversold here in the predicted medium and long-term differences. We're not oversold on the stochastics or the predicted true strength indicator. The predicted MACD has actually crossed over yet again to the downside, as is the predicted true strength indicator from vantage point. So again, 84.74, I am sure that the entire market is really going to be watching this area very closely. We've closed at 83.96, 15-year low on this close. This is a classic case of selling the bottom. You know, do we sell the bottom here? Well, not quite the bottom, but we want to look at this 84.74 area, and in this particular case, the 18-day predicted moving average from vantage point is 85.75. This is where we want our stops above this area. That's about 100 pips we're going to give this thing to see if this downtrend can gain strength. I don't believe the Japan government is going to intervene here whatsoever. I believe that they have very little control over the market biased here. Clearly the market is buying yen and they're buying Swiss francs. And until that bias changes, then obviously both we have further upside pressure on the yen and the Swiss franc. Now, what I want to do though too is touch on our trades from yesterday. We were unable to get any kind of real profit out of that light sweet crude oil contracts or the British pound US dollar. We did get about a 50 or 60 pip move on the British pound US dollar, but nothing what we were looking for. Now, the crude oil is sitting at the bottom where you can see that we have a long-term range here that's been in place for about a month and a half between the $71 a barrel and $82.50. So there is going to be some buyers down here, and I don't see a sell-off to be overly dramatic in crude, and I am still, to clarify, recommending the long positions. Now, what I also want to do is touch on the British pound US dollar. Now, the pound dollar, again, I think we still have a significant amount of support in that 153, 153.20 area. So what I want to point out is that we've moved slightly lower, but this triple EMA crossover from Vantage Point is very stubborn, and for unknown reasons, it's struggling to confirm the sell signal on this currency pair. So for now, you know, as long as we're above that 153 area, I still recommend longs, and I think that we have the bias for this thing to turn around. All we're looking for is a little bit of a turn in the equities and a little bit of a turn in some of the commodities, specifically the light sweet crude, and the pound dollar will regain its footing and start moving higher. So those are the market positions for August the 25th, 2010. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.